Hey guys, it's April, Crafting with April. Let me see if I can get you guys focused and centered here on this project. I've had a couple of ornaments that I was wanting to do. This is going to be ornament number 11 of the 12. I could not remember my other ornament. I lost my list, so I asked in the group, and somebody requested to do a snow globe card. So I've got a couple of different ones in the file for you guys, and this is my test cuts. So things like the date and all I have fixed where the 2 is welded to the rest of the date, so you won't have to do this. For the date and stuff, I'm using my little Xyron sticker maker. I'm going to be using art glitter glue for the one I used the Cricut cardstock on, and I am going to be using a tape runner for the foil poster board that I used with Cricut. The materials that I'm using today are the red Cricut cardstock. I am also using the acetate, the foil acetate. This one happens to be from the pastel sampler. I'm using, in one of them, the really pale blue. I'm going to use that on the metallic foil. And then I'm using the silver or pearl, it's called, out of the pack for the red one. The foil poster board is out of the fairy tale sampler pack, and I'm using the blue one out of that. And I am also using the craft board in the white from Cricut as well, and that's going to be in place of the foam tape that a lot of people are using, because I don't like the way the sides come out finished with the foam tape. So I figured that this, it's going to be white, but it looks more finished in my honest opinion. I'm also going to be using some, let me turn off, I couldn't figure out why there we go. I had my bright pad on. It was kind of creating a glare there. This are just sequins that I got from Hobby Lobby. They were in a pack like this, but I put them in this tube that something else came in just so they wouldn't go everywhere, and I'll have to find something to put these in. I'm going to use these, they're little rhinestones. I'm going to use on the metallic one, and I'm going to use the white sequins on the other. But use whatever you have. You can even use the styrofoam snow that you get. That has a lot of static electricity in it, so that and sequins you're just going to have to be careful of. And if you're cutting the snowflake one, this is one that I cut in error because I loaded the wrong paper on the mat. It cuts beautifully with the snowflakes. On your metallic foil, make sure you either have a new blade or do a test cut, because I messed up one of these cutting it with the metallic. I just popped it over there on the material, but I had something stuck to my blade, or my blade was dull, and it didn't cut well. It was all jagged and everything, but when I put it on intricate cardstock, it worked perfectly fine. Same with the numbers. I had a problem. I tested them. I did one with, well, let me show you. And don't pay attention to my bent cardstock because my mat was fairly new. But you get, I don't know if you can see on this one, you can on this one, where it chewed up the first one, and that's where I used metallic. Second one I used intricate, perfectly fine. So do a test cut before you cut those. Also on your acetate, this one I have not peeled. The acetate comes with a coating on one side, and just, I used my, I don't have it handy here, but I used my weeding tool and just gently on the edge till I could figure out what side the plastic was on. But you don't want to scar it up like I did right there, but do it on the edge just in case you do scar, because that's not going to show anyway. But make sure you peel that protective coating off of your cut pieces before you go to use them. And so we're just going to assemble these. Like I said, I haven't done these yet. These were my test cuts. I figured we would assemble them together and see how it goes. If any adjustments need to be made or it's not working out, whatever, I'll do that before I load the video and give it to you guys. I also left the cap off my art glitter glue yesterday. I forgot to put the pen back in. Got sidetracked doing something else, so I may be a little clogged here. See if I can get that undone. I apologize, I should have did that before I started. But you're going to need your glue, and you're also going to need some little hanger ribbons. And this is something that the kids can help you with. This one is not that difficult of a project, I don't think. There we go. But I am on this craft cardstock. It's good, it's thick, it's sturdy, so it'll hold up for many years being paper. You just have to pack it carefully. I'm not going to worry about that hanger too much. I'm going to put a little dab on there. But there we go. You're going to glue 3 of these together. And the file's going to contain an extra of these right here. There's 3 each going in each ornament. If you want to cut more, cut more. But I am including one of these that is filled in the back in case you want to put a photo or something in between one of these layers so that it's standing up in the middle. You can certainly do that. So there is a back that has a solid, and if you use that, you'll only need to cut 1 of your acetates instead of 2. But I wanted mine to be completely see-through. That one's pretty dry. And if you're using the foil poster board, you'll want to use a tape runner when you put that down. Do not use glue. I did that with a box. It's nothing wrong with the foil pieces. However, the coating on that is so nice and almost a plastic feel that when you put the glue on the back side of it, the paper absorbs it and it swells, because instead of dissipating to the front like some glues do, if it's got a high water content like art glitter glue here, instead of sucking up into both sides of the cardstock, it has nowhere to go and it makes it swell. I did notice that it did go back down, but you could still see where the glue lines were on it with that box. So I'm not going to suggest that you glue on the metallic. The other is fine. I'm thinking that this is going to be deep enough once I get it together for some sequins and stuff. If you use the small stuff, it may not for those rhinestones, so I'm prepared for that. If not, I'm just going to use the sequins on that as well. Now your acetate, you'll want to glue down on this. I'm gluing it down on this one, just a thin bead of glue. It's going to go to the back and one on the front. If you're doing the foil, you're going to need to use some tape runner. And I suggest putting the tape runner on this piece so that, and put it on your Teflon work surface or whatever, so that the excess goes off the side and doesn't end up on the inside of your acetate where your sequins will stick to it. You don't want that. And now I have that one with the window in it. I'm going to lay that to the side, and then I'm going to put the window on this one. I think these are going to turn out really cute. Don't need any up there at the top, just towel the acetate on. And art glitter glue does dry clear. You can see it's already getting clear on there. Now I have those 2 pieces. I'm going to glue this piece on to either the front or the back, however you want to work. And I'm probably over gluing, but I usually do. And I'm going to line that one up. Just be careful, try not to get any glue on your window. If you do, it, like I said, art glitter glue dries clear, and you should be okay. Just want to make sure that we're all lined up. And I have a little bit of glue to the inside here, but if you have your gum eraser, you should be able to get that out. And I think I have mine right here. I'm going to wait till it dries, and then I'll take my gum eraser along that edge. You might even want to run your nail around there and get any excess off, so you don't have to worry about it. And then again, I could let it dry. It dries clear. I don't think it'll be seen. I'm just going to let that sit and dry. The file does contain two of the, this is my front. I'm going to go ahead and I'm doing the gold numbers. And this, like I said, this is your little Xyron machine here. And you just put your image in face up and pull the tape at the bottom, and it pulls out, and then you just cut it off. And you rub it so that all the sticky that's not being used stays on the plastic. So that would be sticky. Except where the letters peeled off, or numbers. And then I'm just going to try to eyeball here. Yours is welded together. You won't have two pieces, so you should be able to get yours on pretty straight. I got mine off. I'm going to try to move those. Center them up. I apologize, I'm off camera. I'm trying to pull them off gently. There we go. And restick. And like I said, I did correct that. I just missed just a hair on the two, so it didn't adhere like I wanted it to, or it didn't weld, so I had to do it in two pieces. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick this one on to the front. Like so. That way I can use the two metallic poster boards together without using glue. Just makes it easier, and they don't warp and bubble there. And now let's do these pieces. Same as the other one. Just going to stick them together. This is a great little ornament for the kids to do too. And all of the little centers that came out, give them to the kids if you're not going to use them for something, and let them make snowmen or flashcards or their own little cards for their grandparents out of them, or magnets. No need to waste it. Let them glue that stuff together and make their own little ornament. Here we have those. And another little way of doing this, let's run a bead of glue around this. Only do one side if you're doing it like I'm doing it here, because you want to put your filling in, and if you put both of your pieces on before you put your filling in, you're not going to get it in there. Now I have that one. I'll let that dry for a minute. And we're going to put the tape runner on this. I'm using a Xyron on this one as well. And I'm, like I said, I'm letting it come to the inside. These are dots. You'll want to make sure that it's closed up all the way, because if not, your sequins might fall out. And then I'm going to, and be careful when you do this with the tape runner, because once it's down, you may not be able to adjust it if you're using permanent, and you want it to be complete. You don't want it hanging off the edge, especially if you can't adjust it. And then we have the back. Before I mess up, I'm going to go ahead and Xyron this one. I did reach for the glue. I almost did it. And like I said, you don't want to do that with the I am just doing the edge here just to get it to stick. If I get a little on the front, it's going to be okay. I'll use the adhesive remover eraser and get that off. You don't have to go completely around on this because the sequins are going to be on the other side. Just make sure you come here. You're not lined up. If you're using metallic poster board, of course, it's going to be a little more difficult to do. And I don't know why that one is showing so much white, but I like it. It's still pretty. They're supposed to be the same size. Might have to stretch that one a little bit for you guys. Now it's time. This one is dry and this one is dry. Let's put some sequins for the snow in there. And like I said, if you're going to add a picture, you need to do that between some of your white layers. And then we're going to go around the edge here. I don't want to get too much. I don't want it to squish all over the sequins. Yeah, for some reason my blue, or the one with the snowflakes, didn't cut the same size up. There must have been something changing the size of it. So I will make it slightly larger so that it covers the white. I'm going to live with mine. So, and now we have that glued down. Look how cute that is. And then ribbon hanger. And I bought these at, oops, I'm going the wrong way. I bought these at Hobby Lobby for like $1. It's been a lifesaver, so I don't have to do all those ribbons. And there we have it. So cute. And then the lights on the tree will shine through as well on those. And let's go ahead and finish this one up. We're just going to put our tape on this first because I don't want to bump it and run all of the sequins or stones all over the table. Let's see if I can do this without spilling 10,000 rhinestones all over the place. You're about to find out if these will work or if you need to use something flatter. And I'm not putting as much in this one because it has the snowflakes on the front. Don't want to crowd it too badly. And I'm going to line this from the top since it's off. Oh, I made this back from a duplicate of the other one, so I'm still going to stretch one of those just a little tiny bit, the front. And there we have, and those rhinestones do work, guys. That's just enough height. I will adjust this so that that front piece with the snowflakes on it is slightly larger and covers those that are cut for you guys. And I'm just going to put a silver hanger on this one. Just loop it through. And there we have it. Snow globe paper ornaments. Perfect for kids. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me in the Facebook group Cricut Crafting or Cricut Maker Projects. Click on the logo there and you see in the screen that says Crafting with April, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you don't see that little logo, then just click the subscribe button. That way you'll get notified of any videos and new projects that we do. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you're looking for the file, click Show More on the description and you will see the file listed down below on a PC. If you are on a mobile device, there is a small arrow there just under the video on the right hand side. Click on that and then that Show More will drop down and show you the links and the descriptions and the files below. So you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Thumbs up for the snow globe suggestion. You guys have a great day and we'll see you on the next video. This is number 11 of 12 and 12 of 12 is coming up and we're going to wrap up this series.